Ow! One, see it work. James.
Sorry. I'm too old to remember that stuff.
Thank you, girls. Thank you. Nice.
Fair enough.
Alright guys, thanks all for coming again. Thank you very much for Lois, for Vine's House. Thank you very much. For cooking the barbecue and oh, and thanks Mark for finding the barbecues. Crazy. And Tom for the cake as well. Yeah, thank you very much for coming. Right, we're going to have a quick, well, we were going to do this at 9, but it run over a little bit. So we're going to have our special time. We decided, well, we had an idea of calling it the Focus 15. What's F15? Come on. Yeah,
Special time
Is that player price? It's actually going to be 15 minutes.
it doesn't have to be 15 minutes.
It's just 15 minutes trying to get quiet.
If we want to go on for 3 hours.
I get agitated.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. No worries. Yeah, I mean, like, we're just going to talk a bit. I mean, feel free to chip in. I mean, I'm not just going to sit and talk at you. The whole point is that we're just kind of discussing stuff and everything. What's going on? Why do you think you're picking at me? Okay, so we were going to talk about dealing with weaknesses. Okay. I mean, first of all, we thought it'd be quite good if you knew a bit of our background as well. I mean, personally for me, I was brought up in a Christian home. I haven't actually thought about what I was going to say to this bit. So, I was brought up in a Christian home. I was brought up in a Christian way, but it wasn't until I was probably about 15, 16 that I really kind of said, yeah, I want to be a Christian. That's what I want to do. And when I was probably about 17, I did go through a bit of a tough time, and I was really doubting my faith and everything. But God really brought me through it, and I feel like every year He's kind of made me stronger. Until we got to today. So that's just a little quick. We haven't got that much time. That's just a little quick bit about me. Should we leave you tonight?
You'll leave me tonight.
Yeah, we'll leave you tonight. Okay, cool. Right.
Sorry.
You probably all know about it anyway because she talks all the time. So you're fine. Little laugh in the back. Joking. Okay. So we're gonna be focusing on dealing with weaknesses. Now, I think it's important to remember, like, everyone has got weaknesses, and it's one of the reasons why we chose it. Because when we were talking about something that was Connect Group, it was kind of when we were talking, it just kept going on to like dealing with weaknesses. And one of the things we both struggled with was image, and specifically for me, it was how I perceive other people see me. Really affects how much confidence I've got, like now. So yeah, I mean, and what I always found is that it really stopped me from living for God, because I was so bothered about what did someone else think of me? What do they think of me? Do they think I'm funny? Like, this is a ridiculous thing. I went through like a period where it really bugged me if someone didn't think I was funny, and I knew it was ridiculous. Like, it doesn't matter if someone thinks you're funny or not, but it was something that really, like, it would make me anxious talking to people and really nervous talking to people. But for me, God has really taught me that that doesn't matter. We'll come on to that a bit, I think. Yeah. Yes, a little bit. You want to talk?
Yeah, go for it. And the whole idea, like, world kind of just like throws like image and the way people look like in your face, like in advertising, it's all like looking good, and in the magazines, like everyone is like airbrushed stuff, and you're like trying to be like them. And I think because like image is used so much in advertising, and kind of like sex sells kind of is like the way it's kind of run.
It's come up a lot probably.
And,
hello, thank you for your house.
Sorry.
That's what you're trying to do.
There like, seems like this whole link between like how beautiful you are, how attractive you are, like, with how like popular you are with like the opposite sex kind of thing. So like you kind of judge like how beautiful, attractive, whatever you are, by like how many boyfriends you have or how many people like you, kind of thing. And it's kind of that whole idea is a bit like thrown in your face. It's kind of encouraged. It's not that great, really.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah. And so we both feel God's taught us is that the thing is that the worldview is that when you realise you've got a weakness, I mean this is what I think anyway, when you realise you've got a weakness, say you can't do something, the worldview is that's terrible, you should be ashamed of that, and you've got to try and hide it, and you've got to try and protect yourself from anyone knowing that that is a weakness for you. You know what I mean? That's the way of the world. You think you can't let anyone see that you can't do that, you can't cope. You know? And what God does, he turns it on its head. And he says that weaknesses are not something that we should be ashamed of. They're actually something that we can stand up and say, yeah, I'm not perfect, but I can face it. And this is the verse that really stood out for me was